Okay, let's talk about a sling. This is the new Settra Sling from Monarch, live on Kickstarter right now. Now, a couple years ago, I did a review of the Settra Duffel Pack, which is a hybrid duffel bag backpack carry that also has some pretty cool accessories, really good features, easily one of my favorite duffel bags, especially for car travel. And now part of their Settra line, due to COVID and kickbacks, took a little bit longer to get out, but they've released the Settra Sling, and I've had the pleasure to use this for a little over a week. Went on a trip down to Florida, took it on the beach, took it around downtown St. Augustine, did some stuff at the office here in Boston, and I have to say I'm very impressed with just how much this little sling can carry, the functions, and just overall how it kind of performs. Let's get into it. Okay, so this is a sample that Monarch sent me, and there's gonna be some slight changes to the final product that you're gonna get from the Kickstarter campaign. I just wanna point some of those out. The biggest one for me, and the one that I'm most excited about, is the fact that this sling strap will be able to be connected on either side. So if you're a lefty or a righty, either way, it'll fit comfortably and be easy to put on your back. Some of the other changes that they're making are just some slight improvements to like the handle up here at the top, the RFID pocket on the inside, making some of them bigger to fit things like passports. They're gonna upgrade some of the other smaller functions, which are gonna be great. So with all of that, let's dive into the materials, the functions, and everything that I absolutely love about this sling bag. Okay, there is actually a lot to cover on something this small, and there's a lot that I'm excited to tell you about. The first one is obviously the materials and hardware. Now, I'm a big fan of this kind of material. You've got weather guard zips, not YKK zippers, but I've said this before, YKK is just a name brand. These zippers are just as good. I've seen them on other bags. Not every bag has YKK. Zippers like these that I've seen from Monarch bags, I've had their sample duffel bag as well as a regular duffel bag from them, and their zippers still hold up just fine. No big deal there. Okay, and because it's hard for me to remember every single thing about this, I brought up their Kickstarter page. What I like about this and what I like that Monarch is doing is this is made from recycled plastic water bottles. This thing exactly is made from 21, which is a great way to give back to the environment and also help the environment, which is a huge push for me as someone who works for an environmental company. That is a great message, and I love what they're doing with that. I love companies that are willing to help out the environment, use environmentally friendly materials, and also use recycled materials, which is nice because they have one of these loops, which was also on the duffel bag, that tells you that it was made with 26 recycled plastic water bottles. I was wrong. I was off by 5, which this thing can also be detached if you don't want this. I personally like this touch. It makes it really easy to get in and out of this front compartment, which we will get into in a moment. Okay, let's highlight the back and this strap. For one, very comfortable air channel with some great foam. Very minimal, but also does the trip with this mesh. I like that it was breathable, and I know it's breathable because I was in the hottest place known to man, aka Florida, during what is basically summer, because as someone who lived there, it's hot year-round, always and forever. And I wore this on my back as I was walking around some forts in St. Augustine. I was on the beach, did a couple different things, and honestly, I never felt like it was hot up against my back. It's also a sling, so I don't have to worry about that as much compared to a backpack. But overall, with this being a little bit of a larger sling, and you'll see just how much this can fit in, which is why I've got this pile of things here to also show you that can fit in here. It was very comfortable. I felt like the weight was really well distributed on my shoulder, especially with the securing strap that they have that can be attached, which they're gonna add. There's one on this side of the bag, and there will be one on this side of the bag which is great if you wanna have a little extra securement when you have this bag on your back. And the other thing that I like about this sling when it comes to wearing it is how easy it was to adjust. I found that it was very easy if I just loosened it a little bit. It's very easy to take off. I put it on, tightened a little bit, and it fit perfectly. I like that it was very easy to adjust how tight or how loose I wanted it. I also felt like it was perfectly placed on my back. Typically with slings like this, and you don't have it on this one, they don't really have those securement straps up here at the top to help get that weight up on top of your shoulders and out from like your lower back so where it doesn't hurt as much. Luckily with this sling, because it's not gonna be super heavy, no matter really what you put in this thing, because I have it packed out pretty hard and I didn't find it to be kind of cumbersome on any part of my body, but it was extremely easy to adjust and the strap here was extremely comfortable. All of those are things that you want in a sling like this, especially when this one is made for more of the urban lifestyle, office lifestyle. You could definitely use this on hikes which I have recently, and I found it to be pretty well, and it also just works for any kind of everyday activity. This is really a do-it-all sling, but I definitely think it works really well for those of us that maybe take public transport, do urban lifestyle, go to the office, and things like that. Even just going to downtown, maybe doing some shopping, some light sightseeing. This is a great sling companion to help with those things. And then when you move to the front here, you have two securement straps. Now, I actually ended up using these for the first time in a long time. I used securement straps on the front of something, and it's because when I was flying back from Florida, I actually strapped my Cuts hoodie to the front, and it fit perfectly. Now that's a pretty thick hoodie, and it's also pretty big when you roll it up, and these securement straps, even when they were loosened all the way, I was still able to tighten them a little bit to keep it nice and secured to the front of the bag, which was a huge plus for me because I didn't, for the first time, and no one get mad at me, for the first time I did not do one bag travel because me and my partner went down for a wedding. I had to bring like a suit and stuff that I normally wouldn't bring if I was traveling lightly, so I had to check a bag for the first time in years, in literally years, the first time I had to check a bag. And I hated it. I hated every minute of it. I hate baggage claim. I hate the whole process. I hate paying $30 for a bag that could easily fit under my seat, but that's neither here nor there. So I actually had to use these securement straps because I didn't have any room in here to put my hoodie, which was great because it showed me that you can actually do that with a sling like this. This was a great carry-on item. It acted as my personal item because I didn't have a larger one bag travel, and it worked phenomenally. Everything I needed was here. It was super easy to get in and out of, and the fact that I could secure some of the bigger items to the outside just was an added bonus. And then, like I said, you also have the strap up here, but I was informed they're actually gonna make it a little bit beefier, so I'm not gonna worry about covering that too much. And the last thing I wanna hit on is just real quick, because I forgot to mention it, is the securement straps can actually be stowed away. I personally left them out because I felt like it added a little bit to the aesthetic of this bag. I don't know, something about these like G-hook things and the straps over the bag. I like the way it looks, and it worked really well because, again, I ended up using them for the first time in a long time. Okay, now let's talk about the thing that everybody is here for, and that's the functionality, the organization, and just how I pack this thing out and what all this thing can fit. Because again, for a sling of this size, I'm very impressed with the way Monarch designed this because it fits so much stuff. Now, I didn't bring my laptop in this. However, I'm gonna show you 3 different sizes of things that can fit in what is considered their laptop compartment. I use this as a mobile filmmaking sling while I was in St. Augustine in Florida for the wedding because I wanted to bring things like my drone, my DJI Pocket 2, my action cameras. I did not bring my Sony APC-S camera, Sony a6400. I didn't bring my full frame either because I didn't really need it. But with all that being said, let's dive into these pockets. So the first thing and the best thing is on the front here, you have a flat quick access compartment. Now this was great for things like a flat tech kit. This is my modern day fare tech kit. It works phenomenally. I'm able to put my laptop charger, my phone chargers, all my cables, dongles, my accessories for my MacBook Air, everything can fit in here, and it slides in here perfectly, and I never had any issues getting it in or out of the front compartment, and I really, really dig that. Now, also in here, there is a mesh guy, if you can see this, behind that is also zippered, and that's where I put my film notebook and a pen. Now, this is where I just kind of always carry one of these with me, but I like to have it a little bit out of sight, out of mind, because if I come up with an idea for a fun edit or a shoot or something, or a photo that I want to take down the road, or an idea for editing or something with a video, I like to write it down. I have so many ideas in here. If you're a creative type, it's always nice. This was like $5 for like 5 of these at Target. Super nice, fits in your pocket, you know, all that good stuff. And then I have a big pen because I'm not spending $20 on a pen. I will spend $20 on a pack of 500 pens, but I'll not spend $20 on one pen. And then going on, there is one other thing in here, and is this. This is a key clip little fidlock magnet in here that I think works really well. Now, I did not use this when I was in Florida because I obviously did not have my car keys because I was not driving. But there's more to this because even with that tech kit and my keys and my notebook, when I was going through security, I was able to slide my phone in here as like a security dump. One of my favorite things on carry-on or personal items is a place to do a security dump where you put all the things in your pockets so you go through security, you can easily get it back out before you get to your gate. I don't carry a wallet anymore. I haven't in a long time. I like wallet phone cases because I've lost my wallet twice now, and both times it's been a pain in the butt to get my driver's license back and credit cards and debit cards. So because I know me and I'm really good at losing things, I just switched over to the phone case wallet, and it fit in here really, really well, which is great for a security dump because that's what you want. This front compartment was probably one of the most impressive things on this bag because of how much you could really fit and how little it really affected the rest of the capacity on this bag. That was the biggest takeaway for me, is the fact that things like this big tech kit, which is pretty thick. I mean, it also kind of like ebbs and flows with the, you know, I don't know what the word is, but you know, the texture of it, because there's a big charger here and a smaller charger here. So it kind of has like a weird indent pattern, and it worked really, really well. On top of that, having that little compartment behind it and being able to put keys, it makes it really great if you're taking this to and from the office to be able to have your car keys, your notebook, maybe your tech kit for work, or whatever it might be. It just all worked really well together, and I was super impressed just by how much capacity that front compartment really offered when you really look at it, especially if you're like me and you love using pouches. Okay, then you move into the main organization pocket, which is the middle one. Now this opens at like, it starts here and ends here, so it's like a 3/4, and then it folds down, and there's a lot that you can put in here. Now, again, I have this currently loaded out how I took it in Florida, which was mobile filmmaking. So I currently am using my DJI Pocket 2, but this is the case that I put it in. It fit perfectly in this front little pocket right here. There's a lot of pockets on here. I'm gonna try to get through all of them. Again, there's a lot, so bear with me as we move through them all. But this front one was great for my Pocket 2. When I'm out and about and I'm vlogging, doing mini filmmaking, whatever it might be, this is the thing that I want the quickest access to. And because of the way this pocket was set up, I can easily unzip, grab, pull it out, film, put it back in, and then easily, I mean, literally one-handed. One-handed. You don't get that very often. You don't really get, no, it's not gonna work. There we go. You don't really get one-handed. Can I do it without looking? Kinda. You don't really get that a lot, especially if you want something that you can easily rip and grip and grab. So that works really well. Below that is a mesh guy where I actually put like some throat lozenges. When I fly, I usually get like a sore throat. It's really weird. There's also some spots for pins. You might be thinking, well, why didn't you put the pin in there? Well, because I want the pin with the notebook, but the pin does fit in here really well. And if you have an Apple pin, there'd be a good reason you might want to use that, because behind this is a spot for an iPad, which I'll get to in a second. But you have those front 2 compartments, and then next to that is the zippered RFID pocket. Now they're making this bigger so you can fit things like your passport, wallet, you know, all of those good things will fit in there really nicely. Now, I didn't really utilize that pocket because, again, no wallet, no passport. But behind that is another just open flap compartment that I was able to put. It's my DJI Pocket, nope, this is the, nope, what is this? Action 2, which is my little like action camera that I keep with me everywhere. Now that pocket is big enough to fit other items, but again, with a bag like this that has a lot of built-in organization, you're not gonna wanna fill out every pocket, because then it's gonna become clunky, it's gonna become overcrowded. I like to space my items out, maybe one little item in one pocket, one little item in another pocket. Your mileage may vary, but for me, I personally like to keep some of my stuff just by itself so I know exactly where it is. And for this Action 2, right there was perfect next to my Pocket 2. Those are the 2 things I'm gonna need the quickest access to. And it was nice because the sling, the way it opens up, you have access to all of that. Now behind that is a larger zippered pocket, and all I put in here was my SD card case, because again, lots of mobile filmmaking, drones, things like that. I always like to have one of these, but I don't need super quick access to it, so that pocket worked really well. This pocket is a lot bigger. You can easily fit things like a notebook in here. You can fit other items. This would be a good one if you want to put like your phone, maybe your wallet, maybe the Settra wallet that they have on Kickstarter. Just throwing that out there. It fit really well in there. That's where I would probably put it. It worked really nice. Now behind that is what I think is probably one of the coolest things they added to the sling. It's just an open flat pocket, and it can fit an iPad mini. So I have an iPad mini in here, and it worked really well. Now, I didn't take this with me to Florida. I actually left this pocket empty because I didn't bring a whole heck of a lot. But the fact that you can fit an iPad mini in here with a tech kit, with mobile filmmaking gear, and the thing is, oh, also in here, I just threw AirPod Pros. They just kind of like loosey-goosey in there, and it worked fine. There is a lot more space in here than what I put. You could put a lot more. Honestly, you could really pack this thing out. That's all I had in here, and it worked fine. And that's it for that compartment. There's lots of organization, and it works really well. The main compartment behind that is a laptop compartment. However, like I said, I didn't bring my laptop to Florida. So what did I put in here? Well, I wanted to try something, and I put my DJI Mini 2 drone, my batteries, and my controller. And I actually had another case in here, but I had to take it out because I would reset up my studio and stuff. It was just another a little pouch full of like cables and dongles and stuff for just extra charging cables and things like that. And then I also had a power bank in here, which is currently charging. All of that fit in this compartment, but there's more to this compartment that you can do than just putting something like a DJI Mini 2. There are multiple different sizes of laptops that'll fit in. Start off with, this is a 13-inch MacBook Pro, fits in here, no problem. It'll fit up to a 16-inch MacBook Pro, which is insane. That's amazing. Again, 13-inch MacBook Pro, no problem. New big iPad Pro mini thing. I don't know. This is my partner's. It's big iPad. I got him for Christmas. It fits in here. Literally no problem. Honestly, and this is the coolest part, and I found this out, iPad Pro, MacBook Air, 13-inch, put both of them in there. The Air and an iPad Pro in here, even if you had it all the way packed out. I've tried that before. You can have everything. So if you're like, I want my iPad, and I want my MacBook 13-inch, and I want my iPad mini, and I want my tech kit. You wouldn't be able to obviously put the drone stuff in here. That was just like a little nice addition for me. But it works really well. So this Pocket has a lot of different functions that I was really impressed by. Again, for me, being able to take something like my Mini 2, which is my drone that I carry with me whenever I travel, because you never know when you might want to go over the Fort of St. Augustine and get a really nice shot like this one. It works really well. I love being able to carry extra items in a bag where you wouldn't expect it. And honestly, when I was packing this out for my trip, because it literally came the day before I left, I was like, what do I want to put in here? And I was like, let's do mobile filmmaking. Let's go that route. Because everybody, like, I already knew it could fit a laptop and stuff. That's what it's built for. But I think exploring those things that bags aren't built for and seeing how it works really elevates it to another level. And finding out that I could use this for mobile filmmaking, including my drone, was great. And honestly, that is it for this sling. And it's a lot. And it's a really, really good sling that even though I'm done using it for my testing, process and everything to do a review, I'm still using it, which to me is a good sign of a product. Because if I'm hooked, and it's hard, obviously, someone like myself who uses a lot of different bags and stuff, and I cycle through them quite often, I don't usually get to revisit a lot of them because there's always new ones coming in. But right now I'm still working in an office until I transition to being fully remote in June. And I found myself all last week when I got back from Florida just taking this to the office. And I mean, I didn't pack it out nearly like this, but it's always nice to have a little something that's not quite backpack size, but I need something a little bit more than like a fanny pack size. And this was just like a really, really good in-between that I've kind of fallen in love with, if I'm being totally honest. It's easily, and don't say this lightly, it's my favorite sling that's this size. This is just the best sling that teeters that line of not being a backpack and not being like a small little sling. It does everything you need. It functions really well. It's simple. That's what I like about it. It's simple. 3 organization spots, one that's good for front, quick access, one in the middle that's good to organize your bits if you want to, and then one that can fit things like a 16-inch laptop or drones and things like that. It's comfortable. The fact that they're making it either side for the strap, it has the stability straps, has the front straps that you can easily strap stuff on, just all of that. Because when I had my jacket on the front, everything you just saw minus the iPad mini, the drone, the tech kit, there was some more stuff in there. I also had my my hoodie on the front of the bag. And that is just enough for me to go, yep, that's a winner in my book. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the Monarc Settra Sling, let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my very best to answer those for you. Or you can shoot me an email, odiematthewsbags@gmail.com. If you have any other questions, comments, anything like that, you want to see more footage, photos, questions, anything like that, just let me know over there. Check them out on Kickstarter. I'll link it below. Again, great company, great bag, great message, great things that they're doing for the environment, which is always a huge bonus. And I think that'll pretty much do it for me. So, with all of that being said, thank you again for all the love and support you provide to this channel. It means the world to me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all of that nonsense. And I'll see you next time.